Hi everybody, this is Jill for today. I am making pumpkin pecan scones. They're so good, and I want you to know how easy they are to make. So let's get started. All right, now I am doing this in the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can use one of these great pastry cutters. It works just as well. But you know what? When you have a food processor, it makes it so easy. Now I'm going to add a combination of salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And then this is cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice. And I'll have all of the instructions and the ingredients in the drop-down box below the video. And this is some brown sugar. And this is all going to go in the food processor. I'm going to put the lid on it. And I'm just going to blitz it until it's combined. I'm not going to do a lot of mixing here. So we will just do a little pulsing. And that's really it. So now we're going to add some butter. And this is cold butter that I've cubed into little tiny cubes, which makes it easier to break up in here. And I'm adding it to the bowl. And again, it's just going to be pulsed until it's a very coarse looking flour when all that butter is combined in there. So here again, we're going to just do some pulsing. You can see how quickly this will come together. And I think we are there. Let me take a quick look in here. Yes. Now there may be a few little, little tiny larger clumps, but that's good. That's not a problem. So I'm going to move the food processor out of the way, and we will be back. We are moving on to the wet ingredients, and I have a half a cup of canned pumpkin. This is without the spices. This is not pumpkin pie filling. It's just straight up pumpkin. I have that in there. I'm going to put some vanilla, nice teaspoon of vanilla. Whoosh, yep, there's a nice big teaspoon of vanilla, which is good because I love vanilla. And then I'm going to add some milk, which I have added some vinegar to make it kind of a buttermilk. If you had buttermilk, perfect. If not, just, some milk with a little vinegar in there, and it gives it that flavor. Now I'm going to add only some of this because I've done a whole half cup, which may be too much, and we'll know only when we get that flour in there. So I'm going to give this just a quick whisk. Looking around to make sure I've got all my ingredients, and I believe I do. Okay. Now the one thing I want to do, let me get a little organized here. I have my flour mixture here, which I am going to add to that wet. But what I want to do is take some pecans. These are finely chopped pecans. Make sure your blade is out of your food processor, or put this in a separate bowl. You do not want your hands in a food processor when the blade is in. So what I've done is I've just roughly mixed them in there. And now I'm going to add my flour mixture to this. And I'm going to begin with a spoon. Just see how we're doing as far as that moisture level goes. And it can be a little sticky. You shouldn't have it, where it's real soupy, but a little sticky is not bad, but we're almost there. I'll tell you what, I will work on this, and once I have it at that place where it's ready to roll out, we'll be back. As you can see, I have moved to my hand, which is always kind of a better equipment anyway, isn't it, than a spoon. I'm going to get some of this off my hand. And actually, I don't think I'm going to need any more of that milk. So that was just about I think it was a third of a cup. That's what it was. All right, and I'm gonna, see, here we go. This is good. It's picking it all up off the bowl into a big clump, which is all over my hand, but that's all right. Okay, now I'm gonna put some flour down on my counter here, my impeccably clean counter, and pull that dough out of there, and I'm going to finish putting it, getting it together, and then we're going to do a little bit of kneading on it. I need a little more flour, I can get it because I have some here. And once I have this all put together and ready to pad out, I'll bring you back. So I have this all together and I have padded it out to about a 7-8-inch round. I like it high because I like a nice thick scone. So I'm going to cut this into 8 pieces. So I'm going to cut this in half. Move this a little out of the way here. Cut that in half. Cut that in half. So now we've got 4. And if my math is correct, I have 8. All right, I'm going to bring in a cookie sheet and I'll be right back. So I have placed these on a large cookie sheet, which I've lined with a parchment paper. And if you have Silpat, that would work as well. And now what we are going to do is we're going to put these into a preheated 400-degree oven. And they're going to cook probably around 20 minutes. And you can look at them, they'll get golden brown, and 20-25 minutes should do it. And they'll rise a little bit, and they're going to come out of that oven, and they're going to be beautiful. And this fragrance of them, oh, cannot wait. So once these are out of the oven, we'll be back. We're back, and they took exactly 20 minutes in my oven, and I'm going to show you these babies. They are all lined up like little soldiers on my cooling rack. They turned out very rustic. They're very fragrant. You smell butter and spices, and I'm going to fix a pot of tea, and we're going to take a sample of one of these. And so once they're cool enough to eat, we'll be back. Now, the first thing I need to do is make a disclaimer. And first of all, I'm a home cook, right? We're all home cooks, and we all love cooking. He's not a home cook. You know, as I was patting this dough out, and he actually made the same comment, I really should have crumbled up that butter more. There were some places in there, it was just a little too chunky. So just to let you know that I noticed that, although I don't think it made a difference. They look really good. Here, go ahead, take your... That's the top, which I want you to take. I'll take a piece of the top. Let me take a piece of that. It's nice and tender, nice and moist.
See the texture? Beautiful texture. Okay, here we go.
Delicious.
Oh yeah.
Delicious, buttery, pumpkiny, spicy.
Nutty.
Nutty, those nice little pecans in there. Now you could use walnuts, you could use almonds, you could use hazelnuts.
First bite, I did not taste the pumpkin, and then it just comes roaring in. It's delicious. Cup of tea, cup of coffee, plain.
Now I like to freeze this stuff, and bring it out when we want it. If you were going to entertain and you wanted to have scones, you could make a nice little glaze and drizzle, put it in like a little lunch baggie, a plastic baggie, snip the tip off there and struggle. Oh, it'd be so lovely. But because I usually freeze them, I don't put frosting on them. But that would be so delicious.
These are great.
They are excellent. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you watched this video and are learning how to make scones from a home baker. And he's a home eater.
A damn fine one, too.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank you for telling your friends. I know you will. Subscribe and give me a thumbs up because that helps YouTube land know that I'm doing pretty well. Check out my Amazon store. Is that it? That's it. Everybody take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.